Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Philly AM Sports. It's Mike Laro, and joining me this morning, that's right, he's starting to make a regular appearance here on these Sunday mornings. It's one Matty B. Matty, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, I know. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mike. I told Al this last week when I jumped on. This is not a conducive hour of the day of my lifestyle. So this Sunday morning little adventure of mine is going to end today. So
there you go.
Great
there
to be
you
here.
Go. Wow. Listen, Matty, we got a baseball team kind of turned it around a little bit. In our Fighting Phils, I really liked the pitching aspect yesterday. If only we can sustain it with starting pitching, Alvarado, Keller, and Duran. Great outing though yesterday by one Jesus Luzardo. He did very well. I did the post game last night, watching that game, and not a lot of offense, but there was some good moments in that game yesterday from our Fightings. Matty, what did you take away from the game yesterday?
Tomorrow, obviously Luzardo's bounced back. Didn't have a good season debut. Pitched a lot better last night. Getting some wheels on the base pads. Justin Crawford with his first stolen base of his career. That's good. Defense seems to be tightening up a bit. You mentioned the offensive situation. It's still, and again, as far as last night went, I mean, the one thing that's a little concerning about last night was the Rockies had a bullpen game, and we managed 2 runs. So, but that's going to be that's going to be a concern. That has been a concern. That is a concern with this Phillies team for the last 5 years. Is that I think the pitching will always be there for them, both rotationally and bullpen. It's going to come down to the offense and how they go about their daily work. And if I'm going to look at this, inside of a microscope, the Rockies had a bullpen game. The Rockies, did I say it was the Rockies, had a bullpen game, and we only managed 2 runs.
Yeah. That's a little alarming as well. It's nice to see Turner starting to get, doing the right thing, I guess you could say, as a leadoff guy. He's been getting on base. Again, I don't know how to kind of put this in a microcosm because it is the Rockies. You know what I mean? Like, they're just a step above a Double-A team, in my opinion. So it's kind of hard for me to gauge anything. They're just playing the teams that are in front of them right now. And this just doesn't happen to be a very good one. And so I'm kind of a little more reserved on this. But again, there's been a lot of things. If you're looking around Major League Baseball, especially in our division, you take a look, right? Did they give you any did you hear any update on the Soto injury? Did they say how long he was going to be out for? Because I know he got hurt the other night.
No, I haven't heard anything about the Soto thing. Not at all.
Yeah, he got hurt the other night and literally had to, be helped off the field, or he came out of the game. He did something to his leg. Again, there's some more injury news down with the pitching front in Atlanta. So it's been kind of crazy. Just hearing some of the injuries that are going around. And the thing about it, Matty, is, and this is where me and Al kind of differ with the World Baseball Classic. I love the concept. I love the idea. But I would love that idea if they did it in November. You know what I mean? I don't want it to start off my baseball season by going and playing a 2-week tournament. You know what I mean? You could save that for after the season.
Okay. And, I disagree. I disagree vehemently. Doesn't matter. Listen, these are professional baseball athletes. And honestly, if I look at this thing holistically, if you have a tournament like the World Baseball Classic, a tournament that's so hyped up and so, national pride and all that, I would want that, honestly, to go into the season. I want my players to get their hearts, the blood flowing quicker to play a tournament like that. I don't think, honestly, by the end of the season, players are done. They're tired, they're gassed, they're hurt, whatever. And the injury factor, I get all that, but you get a player that gets hurt in November, they're going to miss the start of spring training. Yeah, you get a player that gets hurt in March, they're going to miss the end of spring training. To me, it is what it is. I love the tournament. It's fun. I don't take anything out of that in terms of how a player is going to be during the season. I don't blame that tournament of how a player is going to be during the season. It's a great tournament. I love it.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it's just been a little mind-boggling to me with how some of the guys have looked who played in that tournament. Our old boy Ranger Suarez has not looked good at all with the Red Sox. Our boy Nick Castellanos is doing right what he's left off doing here.
He's not even a starter out there.
I know. He just got his first hit the other day.
He's coming straight off the bench, man. That's interesting.
Right. He went from playing all last year to he took the minimum to go ride the pine.
Yeah.
So that's a little weird one. But overall, so far from what you've seen in these first, I believe, is 8 games now, 8 games.
Yeah.
What is your takeaway from this beginning of this Philly season so far?
I've stopped looking at this in terms of beginning of seasons, middle of seasons, end of seasons. I'm looking at it as the regime because this is what it is. It's the same team. I mean, I know a lot of you specifically, Mike, sorry. Yeah, you, Mike, and the other guy, Mike. Now, you, Al, and a lot of other Phillies fans like to fall on the sword. Well, it's only 8 games in, 7 games in, 6 games in. I get you're right. But that's not the case with this Phillies team. It's like 500 games in. And that's what I think we lose sight of a little bit. It's not like we've made these wholesale changes on the offseason. We're bringing back a whole different type of situation, a whole different type of team. We're not. It's the same team. So I don't look at it anymore until they make sweeping changes. To me, it's just a big old season, a big continuation of the following or the before season. So with that being said, it's the same thing. The same issues that have plagued this team for 5 years still plague them, and they probably will. It's just now a matter of we've already resigned, and we already know how this story will end or how this story will play out. How it ends could change if woulda, coulda, shoulda. Some things happen, and we get to back where we need to be. So I don't look at it like 8 games in. It's like 500 games in for me.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a fair assessment. I mean, that's your opinion on that. I do like the injection of the new blood that has come in with Painter and Crawford. So I would love to see them infuse a little more new blood in there. Maybe call up a Raconis Jr. De La Cruz has been smacking the hell out of the ball down there as well.
Had a good week.
So he did. And I know you'll have that covered tomorrow on down at the farm.
Today.
So
it's today.
Today. Well, that's right. I'm a day off, man.
It's Easter. God has risen.
Yes, he has. Bruce Harper saying, hi, Mike and Matty B. He says, Mike and Matty, where's Al? Al right now is looking for the golden egg somewhere.
Yeah.
So looking
for patiently waiting for the Easter rabbit to show up.
Yeah, the Easter rabbit. Yeah. You see Al now, he's got chocolate all over his face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, he's digging through all that fake grass as he's trying to, dig through his basket looking for the big prizes. Yeah, that's what Al's doing right now. He's celebrating Easter.
Yeah. Elephant says, that's fair, Matty B, but the only proves we're a 90-win team that will make the playoffs, which is the place where anything can happen.
Okay, Elephant, you're 100% right. But what has happened? What has happened? And what has history told us over the past 4 or 5 years? 4 years now.
Yeah,
they are. Let's be honest, right? I'm not. Again, the story's not complete, and do they have a chance? October is it's a big old blank canvas. I get that, and once you get there, throw some paint up against the wall, something can stick, and something can happen. And that's correct, right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys you're wrong, but as far as the journey to October, I already know how it's going to be. I mean, I've already seen this movie. I've already been here, and we all have already seen this. Yeah, there's no change to this. So
it's like beating your head against a brick wall and hoping that the brick moves.
It is, and I know the frustration of the start of the season, the Texas series, and a little bit into the early part of the National Series, had a lot of Phillies fans sort of against the wall a bit. It didn't for me because, again, this was just a continuation of what this team has been. I mean, they're not going to be 1-5 and all that. Now, granted, I thought if you hadn't had a Andrew Painter or a Justin Crawford, you would have started the season off 1-5. That's an interesting situation, but hey, they did and they didn't. So, you know, we're going to do this all season, and we should. We're going to go back and forth. This team sucks. Why can't they hit? You know, offense is this, offense is that. Yeah, but all I got to do is play the tape from last year, and it'll definitely. I'm like, I want to give you a story real quick, and then I'll give you a show back. I was watching a post game clip of Rob Thompson. It was right after I want to say the Sunday game against the Rangers, and I'm watching the post game clip, and he's doing his thing, and the post game clip was set up about Rob Thompson explains the offensive problems of the team. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, yeah, well, you know, it's the same old, same old. So then I watched it again. And then I'm noticing one thing. I'm like, why is Rob Thompson wearing a red Phillies hat? They played in their cream uniforms today, and he has a blue hat. And why is there a 2024 NLDS logo on the wall behind him? It's because that clip was from 2024 against the Mets in the NLDS. But because it was the same thing, because it was, we've heard this before, we've seen this before, I made no connection that this was an old clip from 2 years ago to about the second or third time into watching it. And that's a snapshot of what the situation with the Phillies for me is.
Yeah. You know, again, I'm the homerish type. I'm kind of looking at it half full, not half empty. And you know, I'm hoping with the injection of the new blood in here that it's going to help this team be better. And that's the only thing you can really kind of hope for. I don't think, I'm going to be honest with you, I think if he falls short this year, he's gone. I think, you know, I really do. Like, there is no coming back with Rob Thompson. He's got to win the World Series this year. If he doesn't win the World Series, there's no way he walks back in that clubhouse, especially when you got a guy like Don Mattingly sitting there who is a baseball player. So, I mean, Noom's checking in. It says, good old hockey game is the best you can name, and the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Maddie is flyered up. How the stars are aligning. Okay. That was
you don't know that song, the good old hockey game song?
Nah, man, that was probably a little
good old hockey game is the best game in the land. You don't know that? Listen, you need to go and Google it or go on your phone and look in your music. It's a very cool song, man. Very hockey.
We have the home foreman checking in. Well, you're home foreman anyway.
Oh no!
Happy Easter, Nina.
Yeah, what's up, babe? So they're so interesting story about this. I'm actually on my own for a week. I'm up here by myself.
She left you alone for a week.
So yeah, I was.
Good God!
So quick story. I was my college jumping down south was supposed to stretch until the middle part of April. I was supposed to not be home yet, but things kind of worked the way it out, and they did. And I ended up coming home early, but because I wasn't going to be home and school spring break for this area falls now, we usually go on vacation during that time, right? But because I wasn't going to be there, they decided to still go on vacation with Nina, her kids, my stepkids, her sister's kids, and their mother, and my mother-in-law. So, and I'm home here watching the dog and the cats. And so they left yesterday, and now they're down in where are they?
Spoken like a true husband.
They're in not Fort Lauderdale. They're near Miami. Somewhere there.
Somewhere in Florida.
so they what's up, babe? Happy Easter.
Oh, speaking of Al, he must have found the golden egg because he commented. There he goes. He said, "Would the team would the team have a better chance with someone else at the helm or a major overhaul of players?"
What do you think, Mike? I'll let you take that one.
I think a change at the helm could work because they know Mattingly's a baseball guy. What the hell are you going to say to Don Mattingly? Been there, did that. You know what I mean? Like, for me, yeah. I definitely do think at times I think his message goes in one ear and out the other. I think they're too comfortable. You know what I mean? With him, you need somebody that they can be comfortable with, but isn't scared to stick their foot up there. You know what I mean, when they have to. And that's what I think is kind of missing with this Phillies team. That's
Yeah, well, I agree with you there, and honestly, it's the easier path to take because you can't overhaul the team, not with the contracts they have, and that's another sad thing that I got is that a lot of people think, oh, this is the last chance for this team. They're going to blow it all up after this year. How the hell are they going to blow this team up? With all these goddamn contracts, they can't blow anything up.
Yeah, they're going to be like this.
Yeah, these players are long term. They just re-signed Schwarber and Real Muto, so what the hell are they blowing up? Here's the thing: the easier path would be to fire Rob Thompson, obviously, and it has worked in the past. We saw it happen here in 2022. But listen, here's the thing about Don Mattingly, and I'm 100% on board with you. But how do you think Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, how do you think they're going to take a Don Mattingly? After dealing with Rob Thompson for 5 years.
They're going to have to. There is but I think it's a little something different too, because Thompson was a coach for a while, but Thompson wasn't. And I'm going to be honest, he wasn't a star.
That's my point.
He wasn't the Rob. He wasn't the Rob Thompson that played for the San Francisco Giants. He was the other Rob Thompson.
Yeah, no. But my point is this: you got a baseball guy, an old school baseball guy that borderline. Let's face it, he's a borderline Hall of Famer, right? He played some his career was spent with some terrible Yankee teams, but he still strapped out a almost Hall of Fame career. He's going to come in and he's going to say, Kyle Schwarber, and I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if this is what he would really do. Kyle Schwarber, guess what? You're batting fourth. You have any problems? Good. We're moving on. We're no discussion here. You're batting fourth. I'm done with this. This is stupid. Bryson Stott, you will never, ever, ever bat fifth again in your life in this team. I don't care. That's never going to happen. No, not going to happen. I think he'd lay the law down, and I don't know how these players would take that. That's my point.
Well, I think they would, knowing the player that he was, like you said, he made a name for himself playing on some god awful Yankees teams. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if I'm in that position. No matter what good I'm doing, this dude's already been there, did that, and he kind of laid the. I think there's going to be more of a respect factor there if it comes out of his mouth. They may not like it at first, but they also know he's got a baseball feel. You know what I mean? It's not all analytics. And this is the thing that
we can't have that here. Oh no, that doesn't work here.
No, but I feel like at times Thompson uses analytics way too much here. And some of the things that he's done lately, you just scratch your head. Yeah, that's why guys like, yourself, me at times, our boy Mikey Papernick. If Mikey Papernick would drive from upstate New York, come down here, pick Robbie up just to take him to the airport.
Oh, yeah. In upstate New York.
Yes, he would. He'd probably drive him back home to Canada.
Yeah,
but,
they're right there.
Right, exactly. But, I can see the frustration with some of the decisions that Rob does make, but I just felt like Mattingly was brought here for a reason, and it was, of course, and one, his kid's the GM, so what better way he gets to be around his kid, and he's got a pretty damn decent team, to go ahead. We got a couple other comments coming in. This is from Al, dude. I love it. He doesn't come on the show, but he's commenting. Will you put the damn phone down and go look for Easter eggs?
Yeah, I know. You bet. You said, listen, I got the Easter egg thing. Then I got to do the pageant, and then I got to go out and take the lamb to the sacrificial offering spot. Well, listen, man. Okay, go do those things. Well, put the phone down.
Sacrificial. Oh, that's gonna be Al. He is the sacrificial lamb. He said, best sports Easter I can remember was Lou Williams 3 that beat the Heat, LeBron in the Eastern Conference Final. Yeah, that was the last time I think the Sixers were relevant. Somehow they managed to be in the 6th seed. In that's how bad basketball is. The Sixers are the 6th seed in the East.
Unwatchable. The NBA. The whole product is unwatchable.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't watched an NBA game in years, and I'm not afraid to admit that because to me, March Madness is 1,000 times more compelling to watch. I'll watch these kids play, and I'm even I kind of feel bad because I really haven't watched my Nova team this year. But even still, like I will go watch them over a Sixers game any day. Like I don't care. I'll go spend the money to go to whatever the arena is, Xfinity Mobile. I'll go down there and watch a Villanova game before I'll ever drop money to go see a Sixers game. It's just I got a good question here. Would you move Stott to the 2-hole the way he's hitting and Schwarber to 4? Well, Schwarber, yes, I would put it 4.
Stott to 8, Bohm to 2.
Stott to 8, Bohm to 2. Okay.
I mean, in this new era of DH, it's a complete lineup. You gotta, you can't really have throwaway spots in the lineup. Listen, Mike, when was the last time you ever watched a baseball team that routinely replaced their 5-hole hitter in the 7th inning for a pinch hitter?
Never. Your 5-hole hitter is supposed to be cemented. 4, 5, and 6 are always cemented because your 4 guy's your power guy. Yeah. Your 5 guy is if the power guy is on base. Like to me, I don't know, man. Again, this is like one of the great anomalies, really that you're really kind of looking at with this lineup. Now, I will say this: Brandon Marsh has been hitting the cover off the ball, but I think that's not sustainable.
No.
It's not. Sooner or later, he's going to come back down, crashing back down to earth.
Yeah, it should be the bottom of your lineup should be 7 Marsh, 8 Stott, 9 Crawford. That's the bottom of this lineup should be.
I'll tell you what. Let me ask you a question. Do you think somewhere down the line, or is it going to be? Is it going to be down the line, or do you think maybe next year? They'll wait till next year. But do you see Crawford maybe getting put up to either one of those top 2 spots, like say a leadoff, like Crawford goes to leadoff, Turner second, Harper third, then Schwarber fourth?
I would like to think that might happen at some point this year. And obviously that's, Justin Crawford's not earmarked to be a 9-hitter his whole career. Now that's obviously not the case. I would love to see that happen sooner than later. It would make this lineup a little bit more structured, a lot more structured actually. But that will happen. It's not a matter of when, or it's not a matter if it will not happen. It's a matter of when, as you said. I would like to think it happens this year, but that would be great. If I had my way, that lineup would be Crawford, Turner, Harper, Schwarber. You could probably do Garcia or Romuto at 5 and 6, and then 7, 8, 9 the rest of the way. So yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I this is going to come as a shock, but I kind of agree with you. I do. Like to me, I think the first half of this year, I think they're going to give Justin all the 9 at-bats, at number 9. I think after the All-Star break, I think they're going to start. That's something I think that they can tinker with and actually just move him up.
Yeah.
Especially if he's got the production. If he's getting on base and turning that lineup
over, all that matters is if he's getting on base. It's all that matters at the leadoff or the 9-hole. That's all. Again, we're trying to make this a lot more complicated than it has to be. Just get on base. I don't care how you do it. If you're a leadoff hitter, get on base, steal a base, put yourself in scoring position when the power bats are coming up. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, and I think this kid can do that. Like I said, and I'm interested to see if they do make room for Raconis Jr. to come up this year. I would like to see him come up, and also bring up De La Cruz. I mean, if Brandon Marsh is playing well, I don't know what you can get for him, but if those 2 guys behind him that are younger, if they're playing well, man, you can use him to go get a I don't know, maybe a decent prospect, maybe a catcher for you there, Matty. Go get a catcher.
And honestly, I would rather see De La Cruz roam in left field than Otto Kemp, honestly. So,
I think Otto should go back to third base.
Right, he's not an outfielder. He's not an outfielder.
I mean, if you're going to give Harper a day off or something, throw him over at third and put Bohm at first. And, give Otto the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Al says he's hiding in the bathroom right now.
Was he waiting for the Easter Bunny to come there? Is that the new spot?
I guess. Either that or he's making eggs himself. Our buddy Joe Sullivan from the Sully Squad checking in says, definitely can see Crawford moving up. Crawford at 9 works for now because he can be on for Turner and Schwarber in some innings. Yeah, Joe, we agree with you. That's what we're just talking about here, man. It says, did the walk-off show an early showing for Crawford coming up to the big spot, or clutch, as we old people like to say? Do you think he has the clutch gene? Is what I guess Al's trying to say, since he came up with the,
with the big hit there. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think he has a clutch gene, or more than that, he's got the tools to be that type of hitter. With a drawn-in infield and the runner 90 feet away to win, and you have a ground ball hitting hitter, it's
and
like 95% chance something's going to happen right. You know,
he smoked that ball.
Yeah.
I was like, good Lord. And I'll tell you what, I love him defensively. I mean, he's made some good catches. Speaking of catches, I don't know, Matty. We all love baseball, even if it's not our team. How about Joe Adell last night?
Yeah, I saw that.
He robbed 3 home runs last night. Yeah. Holy cow, man. Yep. That was the last one was crazy. They literally had to go to the review, if you remember that. Yep. They had to go to the review. It says, Dave said, I would go Turner, Crawford, Harper, Schwarber, Speed at the top of the lineup. That's what we're talking about. Cardinals won a World Series doing it, right? Remember? Vince Coleman, Willie McGee?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, actually, the old running Redbirds, right? Me and Nooms were talking about that a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Dude, and I'll tell you what, you know who was the most underrated on that team? Believe it or not, was Tony Pena. Tony Pena would always get a big hit for them, man. Every time. Every time he would get a big hit for them. All right, can we we're going to switch a little gears real quick because our boys are playing. I got the post game after this today. The Fly Guys, will the push continue for the playoffs? They got a pretty hard challenge coming up today, Matty. Those Boston Bruins are coming to town.
Yeah, and it's an Easter. It's night game, right? Easter night game?
No, it's it's same time as the Phillies.
Yeah, so
same time as the Phillies. So we might be one of us is going to have to kind of fall back a little bit on our.
Oh yeah. No, listen, the Flyers and Bruins, Flyers in general. We were talking a little bit off air. It's from a managing standpoint of a sports media company. It's been a big old pain in the ass when you only have 3 people to work with. But no, last night. Well, not last night. What was the night they played? Islanders. Friday night when I did the post game. That Islander game. The Flyers looked like a playoff team in that game. Every aspect of what they were doing, they looked like a playoff team. And I think it was me and Nooms that were going back and forth in the chat. One of the big things that have there's been 2 major improvements of this team. There's been 1 major improvement in this team all throughout the season. There's been 2 since the Olympic break. The major improvement about this team from the beginning was Tocchet and his defensive philosophy of protecting the front of the net. And that's been on play all season. But the way the Flyers have attacked the neutral zone and their transitional game since the Olympic break has somehow it's flipped the script. The switch went on. Someone got the memo. I don't know, but their aggressiveness in that neutral zone in their transition game has been a lot better in since the Olympic break than it was all season long. They were one of the more slower teams to get anything going through that part of the ice, and then they were also a very slow decision-making team on the rush. But that has all changed, and I don't know if that's because of the presence of Porter Martone or Denver Berkey or the resurgence of Owen Tippett. Something's changed there that's made this team extremely potent. I mean we got playoff hockey now, right? I mean, let's face it, it's the playoffs for the Flyers. They got to keep winning. Brings back memories of Easters of old when you're watching the Flyers make playoff pushes or in the beginning of the playoffs. So yeah, I mean, this is it's a great feeling right now to have, Mike. One question though, as we roll down the stretch, you got games every other day now until the last 2 games of the season. What do you do with the goaltending situation? Is Vladar, you going to ride Vladar to the end of the season?
No, I think you keep going back and forth. And listen,
whoa, you go game. What, Vladar, Urson, Vladar, that way?
I would do it probably for this week. You would give Erison a start I would do Tuesday night. I would give Erison a start Tuesday night against the Devils. I think the Flyers are going to win that game. They're a better team than the Devils. Yeah. I would give Erison. Let's be a little honest here. Erison has earned that chance.
He hasn't. He's had 1 or 2 decent starts lately. He's not earned that chance. Erison's a liability between the pipes, man. Come on,
man.
He is a liability.
He's 5-1 since coming back from the All-Star game.
Now listen,
the All-Star break.
To me, it's not so much he's earned the chance. It's the fact that you have no other choice. If you make a decision to ride Vladar all the way to the end of the playoff or into the playoffs, you might have burned him out for the playoffs, right? But you go with Erson, you're not in the playoffs yet, and you got to put your best foot forward to get there. So it's a real interesting situation, and I can see the Flyers doing it either way, honestly.
Yeah, I do. I don't think they're going to go either. I think as they get more closer to the season, towards the I'd say towards the I would give him the start Tuesday night, and then just basically tell him look, dude, we're riding him out the rest of the way. So you're going to give him I think he gets one more start, but I do like this. Looking at you're looking at the schedule and stuff like that, man. The Flyers really, I mean, they win today, dude. They actually leap over the Islanders for third in the third in the division. So to me, honestly, I mean, everything's still right there. For me, I would like to see. I'd like to see them get that spot, then really trying to hone in on that last playoff or last wild card. I'd rather see them get that because then that kind of guarantees them something, in the first round. I think that so. They would get home ice, wouldn't they? I believe, or do they still do the 1-8? Do they still do the 1-8 thing?
Yeah, they would get home ice because they would. I don't know where the third team in the Metro falls. It probably Well, I think they would get home ice.
I forget.
I have to look at the standings how that works. I think the third seed. That might be. I think the lowest that seed could be is a 6. So they would actually they wouldn't get home ice in that case, but
they would. Mike, why? He hasn't. Emerson gives up so many cheap goals. Ryan, you got to go back. Listen, before the Olympic break, I would agree with you. I'd be like, don't even put this dude in there. But he's played really well. I mean, if you watch that first Detroit game a couple Saturdays ago, my man stood on his head until literally, or no, that was Vladar, wasn't it? Vladar was in that for that. Yeah, it was Vladar.
But this is an all hands on deck situation, Mike. You got to put your best foot forward to make the playoffs. And is that foot having Urson play at all? And it's a situation that every team deals with and with positions. Unfortunately, here in this town, we haven't had a solid goaltender in over 45 years. It's a constant problem that we have to deal with. And I guess it's not a bad problem to have that you're having to ask this question, but Urson's a free agent at the end of the year. I don't think he comes back. Vladar is under contract for next season. He is at least part of the immediate future of this team. I'm not saying that Urson will not take this opportunity and play for a contract, obviously. I'm not saying that. But in the holistic looking of all this, it's a tough decision to make because my confidence in Sam Urson's not like, oh, this guy's going to take me to the playoffs. It's not. It's like, come on, let's just do it,
Yeah.
So I think going into it, it's a real interesting situation to have to think about.
Okay. Joe Sullivan kind of broke it down here. I'm going to bring it up here. He says 3 plays 2, so Pitt has home ice, and it doesn't go 1-8. 8 plays 1, 7 plays 2. Then the 2 in the division, so 3 and 2. All right, so that's how it goes. So that means we get a first round. If the Flyers were to do that, they would get a first round. You get a first round with the date with the Penguins, which I wouldn't mind saying that. I really wouldn't. I think that would bring a lot of juice. He said hockey's where division winners play the wild card, and then okay. He said it's not a tough decision at all. Vladar, hands down, no questions. Oh well, Ryan's agreeing with you on that one. I just but Matty, this is they play Boston today, right? And then they go on this little mini 3-game road trip, right? Which I don't like. All right, I could get it. We got to go to Jersey, right? Then you get your third and final game against Detroit, but Winnipeg, you got to go to Winnipeg to play a game. I'm like, come on. But at least they finish up Monday and Tuesday. I mean, and there's points right there, man. This has been the most craziest hockey season that I can remember, with so many teams being good, like in the Eastern Conference. Like the whole Eastern Conference is good.
There's a preference there in the East. The West is god awful, but yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah. If the Flyers were in the Western Conference, they'd be
in first place.
Yeah, they would be. But again, I don't know. I told you my picks for the Stanley Cup is Dallas and Carolina, and I got Dallas winning this year. Yeah. I've been kind of on them for the last couple of years. Between them and Colorado, they've been clearly the best.
Well, we know it's going to be a new team. Obviously, the Panthers ain't three-peating. I don't know what happened out there, but they're not going to be making a run for the third cup. So,
oh, okay. I think I did that one. Chico Rush, Jesus God, Dave.
that was after his early days with the Devils. We had the washed up Chico Rush.
You know who I remember from the Flyers. I think he had like 4 different stints here. Right? Was like Pete Peters. Remember him?
No,
Every time he turned around, Pete Peters. Every time, like he would be a Flyer, and it wouldn't be for that long. He'd like get traded here, leave out, and then he'd always end up coming back. I remember that dude at least being here at least 3 times. Was
it
Pete
seemed
Peters.
like he was here at least 3 times. At least he just already hung on. Yeah, Pete Peters with number 33.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember seeing. I remember he played a game for Hextall, and he must have challenged his inner Hextall because a line fight broke out, and he literally he literally threw down. That's always started laughing.
Yeah, I remember.
All right, Maddie. Well, we have guys just for you guys. We are going to put this up. This is our wrong one.
That's next.
There we go. There we go. So there's no final word tonight, right, Maddie? You just going to be on? All right.
No,
so
no final word.
All right. So, guys, we are Philly AM Sports. You're seeing this right now. My buddy Matt here to the right will have you covered with the Phillies and Rockies. And make sure you tune in because he does an awesome segment called Down on the Farm where he previews. He puts a lot of hard work into that. He does a lot of previewing the Phillies minor league systems, who's the players to watch. So make sure you check Matty out for that. And then Flyers, Bruins, I will have you covered on that. So you're going to get a ton of Mike and Matty today, at least one more time for each. You won't get to see Al, which is probably a blessing. And even Al would say that. But yeah, make sure you guys definitely check us out later on. And Matty, and this is Matty B and Al are taking over this week for the Fighting Final as they stay up late as the Phils roll into, I call, a house of horrors. They never play well out at the Big Coke Bottle as they take on the San Francisco Giants. Maybe it might be a little different this time, but make sure you guys tune in for that. And this is our schedule for this week. So there you have it. It will be myself Tuesday night, Matty on Thursday, and then I will be back with you on Saturday. So make sure you guys come check us out. We got you covered. We got you covered. And
yeah, we do. We got you covered, man. Goddamn Flyers. Yeah, we got you covered.
I've been drinking cups of coffee like this forever.
Jesus Christ, man. And as so for the Down on the Phillies Farm segment today, we are going to debut it. But unfortunately, it's just for the Iron Pigs because the other levels have just started this weekend and or like Thursday, whenever it was. So the only team that has any kind of like games under their belt right now is Lehigh Valley. So we're just going to talk Iron Pigs today. But starting next week, it'll be all levels with the exception of the rookie league. So
yeah, I want to get to Allentown at least for a game this year. I've never been there. So
I've never been to Coca-Cola Park.
No, I was supposed to wrestle there.
Oh, my God.
I was supposed to wrestle there when I was wrestling. I was supposed to wrestle there.
No, it's nice, man.
But I want to go there. I actually want to go there. And I also want to get up to Reading, too. I'm going to get up to there, too. I heard the experiences at both places.
Yeah, I've never been to Reading. I've been to Jersey Shore. I've been to Lehigh Valley. And, unfortunately, I've not been to Clearwater, but I've been to those spots. But Lehigh Valley is interesting. The Pigs this year, with Painter and Crawford getting upped, there was a little bit of a change going on down there. But you had Miller, you had Merconis Jr., you had players like that to look forward to. But they're all hurt right now. So you got a mixed match team down there right now that's 6-2. I mean, they've gotten off to a really good start, but it's not the team that we wanted to see yet. As some of these players that we're looking to scout, obviously Aiden Miller's the number one down there now, but they're all still hurt. And that's the life of a minor league baseball team. It's all about the parent team. It's all about servicing the needs of the Phillies. So they're kind of weathering a storm a bit down there, and they're doing well. They're 6-2, as I mentioned. So it's a good start.
And you have all these guys that are injured and they're still 6-2.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
All right, Matty. We got to switch gears, bub. We really do have to switch gears because Now we got to talk about these Philadelphia Eagles. And boy, what a week it was here in Philadelphia.
Mhm.
Now comments being brought out that it was Jalen Hurts who from a locker room source or somebody in the building, it was Jalen that changed the play. It wasn't Kevin Patullo that called it. It was Jalen that switched the play and that he's uncoachable and he's this and he's that. To me, I just feel like they don't have nothing else to talk about in this football season. And it seems like I'm not saying the way he plays is, it's not warranted at times to think maybe, he kind of goes rogue. But, I feel like at times, man, this dude's become the new whipping boy around the NFL. What's your take on it?
Well, before I give you my take, I'm going to ask you a question. Is Jalen Hurts an elite quarterback?
No. I think he's a good quarterback, but he's not elite.
Okay.
But I will say this. These guys that they do say are elite, head-to-head against Jalen Hurts, they don't have a winning record.
So what is the definition of an elite quarterback in your mind?
An elite quarterback, would be your Josh Allen type quarterbacks, Joe Burrow. I don't see how they always throw Lamar Jackson in there. I feel like if you're going to add Lamar Jackson in there, then you got to add Jalen Hurts in there because they're essentially the same quarterback.
So do Super Bowl rings matter for an elite quarterback?
No, that's the Super Bowls are for team. You were a part of Trent Dilfer's got one. Jeff Hostetler's got one. You know what I mean? So
Montana, Tom Brady got them too. So,
but they do,
right?
But
I get what you're saying. So, in the essence of this, Dan Marino does not. So, in the essence of this conversation, a Super Bowl or an elite quarterback does not equate to Super Bowl rings, right?
No.
So, I think a lot of this ire, and I agree with you. I think a lot of this ire for Jalen Hurts is actually generated by the fans here, the fan base, and not what you think I'm about to say. I think we as a fan base so desperately want to grapple onto the fact that we do have an elite quarterback, and that we get the love we share, the glazing we do over Jalen Hurts, to put him on this Mount Olympus of quarterbacks is, I think, the byproduct or the generating force behind a lot of this attention that we're getting to kind of contrary that 100%, especially in the age of social media. And people are finding a way. It's making them sick. It's making them, question their like, how can the fans of the Philadelphia Eagles think that he's an elite quarterback? So I think that's a basis of kind of where all this backlash is coming back at the Eagles on. But as far as the meat and bones of this article, I mean, Mike, did you learn anything new from that article?
No, and to me, it seemed like an old article.
Exactly. It's the same things that we've been hearing for years, right?
Yeah, and like except for the whole he's not coachable stuff. Like
I've been hearing that too. Now, the one thing I did hear new was that it was Jalen Hurts' play at the end of the season. That was his play. To throw in the triple coverage of 4 verticals. That was his call. That was his play, supposedly.
Like,
yes.
I don't believe that. There's just no way.
Why not? Why don't you believe it?
Because you saw his face when they were talking about the play that was.
Well, maybe they were trying to talk him out of the play.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, to me, I just feel like there's a lot more sour grapes of people being out the door. You know what I mean? Because And like I said, it was probably, we weren't in the huddle, so we'll never know what was said. But if it was Jalen that made that call, somebody would have said something somewhere along the line, like, no, the play got changed. You know what I mean? Like,
the article says, I read a little bit more. The article says once the decision was made to go with that play, there was a lot of people on that sideline that were freaking out. Like, what are you talking about? No, this is the wrong play. So you might have to put the blame a little bit on Sirianni and Padilla too on this, but. Getting back to the basis of Jalen Hurts, if it was his, go back to that. What did he say? What did Al say? If it was his play, why fire Padula? Well, then why fire Brian Johnson? If it was his play, I mean, again, Al's going to glaze with the homer side of this, right? He's going to go that way, and that's fine, Al. You can, and whatever you want to do there, but. How is it when we win the Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl, but when we lose the Super Bowl, we don't make the playoffs or we implode, it was Brian Johnson's fault or it was Kevin Padullo's fault? Why isn't it consistent across the board? When they succeed, it's Jalen Hurts' fault. When they don't succeed, it's the offensive coordinator's fault. Well, what the hell is it, man? Because they're one and the same in a lot of aspects, right? They're the same product or the result of one another. So get the hell out of here with that nonsense, man. Goddamn Homer stuff going to start. This is Easter Sunday, the day the Lord has made, and you want to go Homer on me? Come on, man. Get your ass back to finding eggs. All right, so.
For Ryan says, from what it seems, it does feel like Hurts is not coachable. One offensive coach after another. Yes, Moore got the coaching position after 1 year. But besides him, it just shows that coaches don't want to coach him. But another issue is the team keeps bringing back the first-time inexperienced guys. That's a sign why he isn't coachable. Listen, Jalen Hurts been dealing with a lot more than just even in the pros. I mean, he's had it his whole time in college, too. He had a different coordinator every year for like the last 13 years. So as far as that bringing,
would you ever say Tom Brady is struggling because of his offensive coordinator?
If Tom Brady had as many as he did, I mean, we're talking about 13
do you
different
think
coordinators.
Tom Brady would? Okay, maybe I rephrase it. Do you think Tom Brady would have struggled if he would have had a different offensive coordinator every year? No. Do you think that would have changed his Super Bowl rings? No. No, listen,
well, hold on.
We make excuses for Jalen Hurts. We do.
Okay.
We make excuses more for Jalen Hurts than any other quarterback on the face of the earth. We're making excuses for him. If you're an elite quarterback, I don't care how many goddamn offensive coordinators you're going to go through. I don't care. As long as I get my money, and every week I get out there and I get a chance to win. I'll rise above the offensive coordinator. I don't really care about all that.
All right,
that's making excuses for Jalen Hurts.
Hold on. All right, so I'm going to say this. You think Josh Allen's elite, right?
I do.
Okay. How many Super Bowls has Josh Allen gotten to? Matter of fact,
right.
What he hasn't even gotten to one. And he's had damn near the same offensive coordinator. Matter of fact, his offensive coordinator just became the head coach.
I agree. But Mike,
so
I could play wide receiver better than some of the wide receivers for the Buffalo Bills. All right. There is something to that. And then again, it kind of hits. Listen, this is not a Josh Allen conversation. Elite or not elite for Josh Allen. I would take Josh Allen over Jalen Hurts in a heartbeat. With the weapons we have here, the weapons on this team, Josh Allen, come on. You know what I mean? 100% would take him. Because you know what? Even in the game last year, that game against the Eagles where they had nobody playing, Josh Allen was still able to will the team into overtime or almost overtime and win that football game. Jalen Hurts with that. Jalen Hurts, man, listen, an elite quarterback does not complete a pass in the second half of football. And he certainly doesn't do it twice in one season. All right. That got nothing to do with the offensive coordinator. That got everything to do with the quarterback. Don't throw this goddamn Super Bowl MVP crap at me. That is the worst argument that you can have with me because to justify he's elite. Well, he's a Super Bowl MVP. Well, so is Nick Foles. Do we have that conversation about Nick Foles? No.
Right.
Get the hell out of here with that Super Bowl MVP crap.
I agree with you on that one. The only thing I will say is those two Super Bowls, he did outplay Mahomes in both of those Super Bowls.
I disagree. In his first Super Bowl loss, he did. In the second Super Bowl, it was all about the defense, flipping the field. It was the defense that outpaid Pat Mahomes, and Jalen Hurts took opportunities that the defense gave him. To think that otherwise, and to think that that they got to the Super Bowl with any other than on the feet of Saquon Barkley and on the defense's backs in 2024 is ridiculous. Nick Foles could have won us a Super Bowl that year. Hell, Tanner McKee might have won a Super Bowl that year because of the dominant performance. Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%.
No.
Why not?
No. You're
not going to go there. Responsible for 40% of the offense that year.
Yes. I will agree with you with Saquon.
So what contributions did Jalen Hurts put on this team to get them in a position to win a Super Bowl?
Hold on. I said the Super Bowl game itself. I'm not talking about what led up to it. I'm talking about the Super Bowl game itself. This is why you went back with. I just said the two Super Bowl games. The two Super Bowl games, I feel like he outplayed Mahomes. And that second game, they took Saquon Barkley away and said, "You got to beat us," and he did.
The defense sacked Mahomes 6 times and created 3 turnovers. That's the difference in that game. The defense.
Listen, and I agree with you. The defense had a huge part to play in that game. They even scored a pick 6.
Yeah.
But let's not lose sight of what happened.
No, Jalen took the opportunity that any starting quarterback in the NFL should have taken based on what the defense gave him. He didn't do anything special. He didn't will the team to victory. He outdueled Mahomes because the defense destroyed Mahomes. Come on, Mike. Let's look at this thing holistically.
Hold on, but Kansas City had the second best defense in the league, so they didn't go up against a scrub defense.
Yeah, but when you're starting the ball on your own 30, on the opposition's 35 for most of the game, they're going to break. Come on, man.
So he gets penalized because he's got a good defense?
No, he's not penalized. No. See, this is where the argument starts. He's not penalized. But when we elevate him, and you're not doing it,
I'm not elevating him.
When we elevate him to elite status, there's so many holes to that argument, man.
No, and I'm agreeing with you. I just told you, I don't think.
Did Jalen Hurts deserve the Super Bowl MVP?
No.
Somebody on the defense. I would have given it to Cooper.
Josh Sweat. Yeah. Josh Sweat deserved Super Bowl MVP. Yeah. And I came out and said that when they won it. I thought Josh Sweat deserved Super Bowl MVP. He had the best game of anybody, even Hurts. So I would definitely gave, definitely would have gave him with that. But let's get back to, so you're saying now that you, this whole thing with Jalen.
I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Me neither. Me neither. I know Ryan agrees with you. So,
yep.
But going forward, do you think with this new style of offense, who do you think is going to benefit from it in this Eagles offense? Who do you think is going to be the benefactors of this?
I'm going to show my ignorance. What is the new style offense? What is it?
It's kind of the McVay, Shanahan offense. It's kind of under center, getting rid of the ball quick.
Braden Mann for a lot of punt opportunities in order to get a big contract from his next team, because I don't know if the Eagles can run an offense like that.
Okay. So you're not looking. Yeah, you're not looking at it as half full. You're looking at it as almost empty.
I think that you have I know everyone's excited about Sean Mannion being here, but for everything I've seen about Mannion's an actual coach. And I don't know if Jalen Hurts can deal with an actual coach. And yes, going to that coachable thing. And it's not because of he doesn't have the I don't think he can read defenses as well as he should be able to at this time of his career. I don't think he's confident enough, or either him or the team, somebody's not confident enough to let him throw it in the middle of the field, right? So that it kind of takes that zone thing and really confuses him when it comes to zone defenses, right? Because he doesn't have the confidence in himself to dump that ball over the middle of the field. And that's documented over the last few seasons. He just does not throw the ball, or they don't let him throw the ball. Something's happening there with the ball through the middle of the field.
Yeah, which I'm surprised. I'm surprised guys like Goddard and the tight ends were getting. I'm surprised Goddard was getting as much love as, because that's where Goddard kind of hangs out. Is in the middle. So
Jalen Hurts completed only 41 passes in the middle of the field all year. That's it. Out of about 300 and some odd attempts. So
question, there's been a lot of things going on. Like, this is his last year guaranteed money.
Yeah.
So do you think in the brain of Matty B, would you consider trading him? Because you got Andy Dalton, you have Tanner McKee.
Okay. What
am
I doing with them?
Right. Would you look for an Arizona type team, maybe? Because listen, I've been hearing some Eagles content creators literally throwing this out there. Like, would you be open to trading Jalen Hurts? My thing is, if this is the last year of his money, his guaranteed money, would you shop him?
I I don't know if you remember this, but way back when, and towards the end of the season, I proposed a mock trade right off the bat. Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown to the Raiders for Max Crosby, Brock Bowers, and the Raiders' first overall pick. That was my mock trade proposal. I would trade Jalen Hurts. I don't want to leave the cupboard empty, because he is a good quarterback. He's a starting caliber type quarterback at this league. But are we wasting our opportunity with the players? All the talk about the offensive line getting older. AJ Brown's drama as he worked his way out of here. Saquon Barkley, how much longer can he do this? It's about taking advantage of the time that you have. Obviously, I don't feel confident turning the thing over to Andy Dalton. I would feel more confident turning over to Tanner McKee, but and I don't know how much confidence really I have there, but as far as if I could upgrade my team significantly in the future, like in 2027 for a haul of draft picks, Herschel Walker like trade to somebody, yes, I would definitely do that.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think, even with a guy like Tanner McKee, you have Andy Dalton here, but I mean, let's be realistic. How good would Andy Dalton look? And I'm not saying him as a starter, just strictly backup, but with this line and this core group of players and his experience, I think them going out, something's in the works here. I just don't know.
I think they signed Andy Dalton to trade him. I think Andy Dalton's the piece they're going to shop at the end, like during this spring or preseason when somebody gets hurt and somebody needs a quarterback. I think it's Andy Dalton. You don't sign a third string quarterback to a $5 million contract.
That's true.
You just don't do that.
Right. And unless you're planning on trading.
Trade somebody. Yeah, somebody's getting traded. Somebody will get traded, either McKee or Dalton. Yeah, there's just no way they're going to keep a $5 million third string quarterback.
No, they're not.
It's ridiculous.
Dalton's going to be the backup to somebody, whether
or Dalton's going to get traded during the summer to be a starter somewhere because somebody lost a quarterback.
Yeah, Howie's going to try and fleece somebody.
Do a Sam Bradford type thing.
But I just wanted that, just your opinion on all that, what's coming up. So, guys, last thing, since you're home by your lonesome there today, Matty, what's the meal of the day?
I'm gonna bang some rust off the pipes, man. No, I'm gonna do a pot roast today.
Make a pot roast, okay?
In the crock pot, yeah. She left me the fixings and she gave me step-by-step instructions on how to plug in the crock pot, and that's what I'm gonna do.
I am going to do some lunch meat. I think I'm gonna go do hoagies for this afternoon's games. Me and the wife want to take the mother-in-law out for Easter dinner, so we'll probably go out somewhere for Easter
Is there
dinner.
places open down there? I mean,
Oh yeah. This is one of the busiest
restaurant days. Yeah.
Yeah. This and Mother's Day. Forget about it. You can't get no tables anywhere. So, but guys, that's going to wrap it up for us today. I want to thank Matty for getting up again this early.
Yeah, I'm done. This is it. I'm over. I ain't coming back down to this hour.
Mikey Papernick checking in. Here's Al with our Pat Bernard moment of the day.
I said off the pipes, not out of the pipes.
Oh man. Hold on. Noob's still checking in. It says
Okay. And they were notoriously late getting onto the field, but how much trust do the Eagles have in friggin' again, I don't know. I don't really know where Nooms comes out on the Hurts thing. I don't know if his I don't know how he comes out on this. But again, to sum up the whole article thing, Mike, honestly, nothing new, no revelations, nothing different other than the potential of Jalen Hurts was the one who orchestrated the last play of the season. That was the only thing I took away from it. Other than that, it's been the same stuff we've been talking about for the last 3-4 years. So I don't understand why everyone's up in ire about it. I really don't. And I think, well, actually I do, because the whole we're from Philly, no one likes us, we don't care. It's a bunch of bull for this new this new fan base. They care very much so.
Why do you think? Listen, no offense, like it's getting nauseating about. I'm a lifelong Eagles fan, and I'm getting nauseated by the attention that we're getting nationally. Mm-hmm. We're starting to get to that nauseating point, like the Dallas Cowboy fans.
Right.
It's starting to get nauseating. I'm tired of turning on the TV and them talking about my football team. Let us have an off season. Shut up. Leave us alone.
But that whole mantra there, that was the true from my generation and your generation that preceded us. That's how it was. We didn't really care if you didn't like us. But this generation, this fan base, this new infusion of millennials and Gen Z, whatever they call themselves, they absolutely do care that no one likes us, and they want to be liked. And they're going about it in a very, very over the top type of way, and it's really creating a lot of the, as you mentioned, I stop talking about the Eagles. I don't care. You know what I mean? Stop talking about us, but they do care, and that's part of the problem too.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, you will see both of us later on. Maddie has the call right after Phillies Rockies. I will have you right after the final whistle. with Clear the Ice. Go Phils, go Flyers, and you guys have a great Easter. I will see you guys. Well, we will see you guys later on today. Have a good rest of your Easter.